if you wanted to get into graduate school, 5% of what you do in undergrad school controls 50% of the outcome. It's probably like one project that you work on that makes a professor in the graduate school interested in you. He doesn't care about the sociology or anthropology class he took, but if you're in chemistry and you did this really interesting project, it's that one project. And so people think they have to get a 4.0 or a 3.5 or something like, no, well, not really. Do really awesome work in this one area. George Church is a friend of mine. He's the #1 geneticist at Harvard and MIT. And he's on the judging panel of a $5 million prize that I organized. He was studying, I think, at Duke. He got thrown out of Duke graduate school because he was either flunking some class or ignoring some class. But he was working on this really cool project that eventually made him world famous. Okay, now, what this tells you is, now, like the mentality in school and academia is, you got to get straight A's, or you got to get straight B pluses, you got to, I don't know what you guys use here, whatever the thing is. But it's like there's this idea that like you got to be really good at everything. No! Be really, really good at 20% of your classes, and the rest of them don't actually matter. How many of you have got an assignment, like a paper you're supposed to write, and you realize, okay, I got 3 days to finish this thing. I could get a good grade, or I could learn something useful, but I can't do both. How many of you have had that? Pick the learn something, not the grade. Because you're cheating yourself for a number that nobody will ask you about after you leave school. I've been out of school since 1992. Nobody has asked me my GPA. It was 3.15. Doesn't matter. I was an electrical engineer. And man, I fought like tooth and nail to get the 3.15. It didn't, what mattered was a few projects that I worked on and a few professors. This is true of professors. 5% of your professors are 50% of the influence of the good that you got out of college. You come to college, you get one professor and you love them and they love you and you really connect and they believe in you and they open doors for you, more valuable than everybody else put together. Come to college and find one professor who's really awesome and like annoy them in a good way. Next question.